Hey everybody, it's me, Stacey, licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creations, here with today's Take Two Tuesday event. Now we are an hour later than normal. We are 6 p.m. sunny California time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, but it's worth the wait. I'd like to think so. What I have for you today is worth the wait. It was such a busy day for me. I can't even begin to tell you. I had so much that had to get done this morning. I tried to stay last night to tape this, but it just didn't happen. I got it all set up, and best of intentions was to get in here this morning and get it done. But, well, things happen. So, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, hey, I'm Stacey. Hello, I am a licensed designer for these amazing companies behind me, Sizzix and Jacquard and Couture Creations. And every Tuesday, I take 2 or more of my products from these companies and we do a technique, we do a make. It is a craft class for you to join in and just be part of. And if you are joining me during the premiere of our class, well, there's a live chat going on right over there. See, right there. All we need you to do is type in hello, hello, tell us your name, where you're from if you're a newbie, and there will be somebody, probably me and a whole bunch of other people, who will say hello right back to you. This is a welcoming community of crafters. And I think one of the best parts of the live chat is that people find each other. They don't realize that there's somebody who loves this craft, this hobby, this I don't know, it's something in you that you have to do this. They don't realize that there's somebody down the street who feels exactly the same until you're on a live chat. And then you see, oh, well, I'm from there. You're from there. Where do you live? Well, I live. And the next thing you know, they're FaceTiming or they're meeting up and they're getting crafty together, which makes my heart very, very happy. Today it is about my October collection with Sizzix. It launches October 1st globally. So it's not out anywhere yet. You can't get it yet. You can get on a notify me list. That you can do. So you can head on over to scrapbook.com, look under the coming soon, go down, all those names you might have to see more, but eventually you'll find Stacey Park. That's me. Click that and you will see all of the October collection coming soon, along with my brand new Sizzix Big Shot machine, my opulent paper, and my cutting plates in teal glitter 6x6 size. Oh, I cannot wait. So hit the notify me list, hit the love button, and that way, when the product does become available on October 1st, you'll be the first to know. And scrapbook.com will send you an email saying it's available. So today I am playing with a stencil that happens to have a coordinating embossing folder. And you're like, wait, this feels vaguely familiar to me. I know, but it isn't. I already have shown you one stencil and embossing folder set that was floral and kind of, it had some linear lines going in. This is a different one. This one's very geometric, and that's me. Hi, I'm Stacey. My design aesthetic is kind of more sophisticated, a little bit more grown up, and not a theme. There's not a theme anywhere in what I do. There might be a nod to a theme, but my products, when I design, I want something you can use all year round for any occasion. Change the paper, change the ink, change the embossing powder, and you've got a whole different project. So my designs are non-themey at all. It allows you to decide what you need this for so you can use it all year round. I think you should be able to use the stencil I'm using today for birthday, for congratulations, for wedding, for happy Mother's Day, happy Father's, whatever you're doing. I think that just by changing the paper and changing the ink, you should be able to use a product all the time. And that's what you'll find with Stacey Park Designs by Sizzix, is that you're not going to find an Easter collection, or you're not going to find a wedding collection, but you'll find things that you can use in your Easter or your wedding, and an amazing opportunity in all of it. So today I'm working with a stencil, and it is very geometric. I love it. It also has a coordinating embossing folder. I will be using the embossing folder next week when we pair the two together. Today I'm just going to start with the stencil, and it is a 2-layer stencil, not a 4-layer stencil, a 2-layer stencil, which keeps that price a little bit lower, but still gives you that layering capability that everybody loves so much. And when you put it on top of the embossing folder, it's a little bit of a swoon. So I'm going to be playing with this one today. Let me get my glasses on so I can tell you. It's called Down the Line number 2. So the embossing folder is down the line, and you'll see because it's all linear. And the stencil is Down the Line number 2. And the SKU number is 666748. Now, you're looking at it going, I'm not so sure. Wait. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to get started for today. We're going to tilt on down. I am using my Sizzix stencil. I'm using my Jacquard premium dye-based inks. I'm using my stencil and stamp tool. I might even be using a little bit of Sizzix embossing powder. We'll see how things go. It is good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. And if you're new, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Truly, we are. All right, I'm going to tilt on down. Let's get started for today. Down we go. All right, so I am my own camera person. You will get to know that. I am not high tech. I do the best I can. And we kind of just go with it, right? Right. Okay, so the stencil I'm using is my Down the Line. I've got 2 layers to it. And the cool thing about Sizzix stencils is not only do they put their name on the top, not sure if I can get an image of it, but not only do they put the name on the top, but they put the SKU number and the position of the stencil, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I think I've got it there. You can see the number 2. It's got the SKU number and their logo. So I know that that's stencil number 2. And this one, same thing, has the Sizzix logo. Trying to find if I can get a image of it. It has the Sizzix logo, it has the SKU number, and it has the position of the stencil. Sizzix stencils also have holes in the top of them. And you're like, why do they have holes? Well, they came out with this amazing little tool. It's called a stencil and stamp platform, and it is dual purpose. It works as a stamp positioner. Yes, it's big, but when you see my A5 stamps, you're going to want something a little bit bigger. And I know what else may be coming down the line for this tool, why they needed it the size they do. It is an A4, and again, you can use it as a stamp positioner, or with this little green alignment tool. This is going to let you align up all of your stencils easy peasy. Now I'm going to be using the stencil tool portion of this tool today, so I don't need my lid because I'm not going to be stamping at all. Did you see how easy that was? Bing, bang, boom, right? I know that it can be hard when manufacturers make the lid. You need to take the lid off for certain things, but they make it hard. You've kind of got to pull it out. Nope, this one's easy peasy mac and cheesy. I'm going to put it right over here for now because I'm not going to need it. So I have got my alignment tool. And remember I mentioned those holes in the stencils? Well, they work with this alignment tool. The holes here correspond to what holds the lid in place. These little bumpy outs, I don't even know what to call them. I have to come up with a name, but so the holes here correspond. And you can put your alignment tool here, you can put your alignment tool here, you can put your alignment tool here. It pretty much lets you move your stencil anywhere you want it to be. And because the tool has no lip, There's no lip to hold the paper, kind of make it so it won't move off. You can use 12 by 12 paper, you can use A4 paper, you can move that paper anywhere you want, because again, there is no lip at the edges that will stop the paper from moving out. It's really, really handy, especially if you're doing maybe a layout and you're using a stencil and you want the stencil towards the bottom of the 12 by 12 paper. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. So the holes that are in the stencil coordinate to the nibs that are on my little green alignment tool. And this allows me to move my stencil up or over. If I had a repeating stencil that you could repeat again and again, wow, what an easy way to make it work, because it's going to align it up every single time. Now you're saying, Stacey, I have stencils that don't have holes in them. I know, Sizzix has holes in them, I get it. But they sell converters. You get 10 converters for a really inexpensive price. And the converters have a little adhesive strip, and then the holes are extended up. They're really cool and they're reusable. So you can use them on this stencil today or somebody else's stencil tomorrow. And it allows you to use this tool because it puts the holes in the stencil, but not permanently. You're not going to want to go out and get yourself a 1/4 inch hole punch, because these are not 1/4 inch holes. Nope, just get the converters. It will make your life so much easier. And when you see how this works and how you can align up your stencil and look at it while you're stenciling, it is amazing. So I've got stencil number 1 on here. I need to put a piece of paper underneath. I am on my sticky grid, which I got a little bit of embossing powder on, but sticky grid is what holds your paper in place. It comes with the stencil and stamp tool. You get a sheet, it's an A4 size, and as long as you don't get too much embossing powder or glitter on it, it stays sticky for a really long time. I really got some embossing powder on this, wow. That was not good, but that's okay. We're gonna go for it anyway because it's still holding my paper. And when you need to pull it up, it pulls right up. So I'm gonna put this down and I'm gonna bring over my alignment tool. And usually I just put my paper right up towards the top, so it just kind of butts up against it. Oh yeah, see, look at that. I've got some serious embossing powder on here. Okay. So here, and it still is not going to move, right? Nope, my stencil or my paper's stuck. Okay. So put my stencil right in place. I'm using stencil number 1. And now it's for me to decide what to do. And I think I'm going to keep it simple on the first one, just so you can see what the stencil looks like. So I'm going to bring over my blending mat, and maybe I use my papaya salad, which is my premium dye-based ink. And the first layer I'm going to go really, really light. So I'm going to tap this color off. And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to add some color. And I'm going to go really soft. Now you see my fingers are walking with my stencil. This is going to align your stencil in place, but it's not going to keep it from perhaps buckling. You need to still have your fingers do the walking when you are working with any of the stencils on this tool. So the beautiful thing about this is that I can lift this up, look at it, see what I've done, and put it right back down again and keep going. Just lines it up perfectly every time. If I were using tape or magnets, I would still be trying to figure out if I've got it perfectly aligned, because you know stencils, once they are slightly off, well, you see it with your finished product. You will see it. So I've got some color going on here. Kind of want to keep it a little light. And up. Bam. Done. Now, take that off. Bring over stencil number 2. Line it up. Make sure that Sizzix is facing upwards. Line it up. And look, because I didn't move my paper at all, I can move my alignment tool as much as I want. This can even come off and go, oh no, what do I do? You just put it right back on. But as long as I haven't moved my paper, I can realign my stencil perfectly. Now, if you forget what placement you put it at, maybe these are placeholders. Maybe that's what I call them. If you forget, well, you can see right away that that doesn't line up, and you can see that that doesn't line up, and that still doesn't line up. You just have to find the place where you started, just in case you forget. And you only have so many options, so it will come to you. You will get there. Now I'm going to go a little bit darker, just because I want you to see what the stencil looks like just in a single color. And I'm going in there with full saturation, whereas earlier I desaturated my color. I kept it light, light, light. Gotta keep my fingers on it. The tool is gonna let you align it. Bam! Back down. But it's not gonna keep it from buckling. So you could do this monochromatic. You could do it in grayscale. So pretty in grayscale. And there we go. And I can lift up and look. Am I happy? I am happy. Woohoo! Peel it up. And there it is if I was just doing it in a monochromatic. And remember, I didn't use 2 shades. I desaturated my ink. So my Jacquard dye-based ink is highly, highly, highly saturated. It allows you to start really dark and then desaturate the color all the way down to a pale. So I don't have a color family. There's not going to be a light papaya salad, a medium papaya salad, and a dark papaya salad. No, there's just one, because you can take this and desaturate all the way down to what you need to make your midtones, to make your highlights. So here's my first one. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Kept it super simple. But, well, let's take it up a notch, shall we? Let's kind of grow and explore and see. And I think the next one I'm gonna do, so I'm taking a baby wipe. I think the next one I'm gonna do, I'll do in maybe 2-tone, 2 different colors, light and dark. Put my stencil alignment tool right there, put my paper here, press down. You can always make sure that your paper's not going to move just by picking up your stencil and stamp tool. Bring over stencil number 1, and this time I think I am going to, I'm going to keep it light, and then I'm going to go darker. And what colors do I want to use? Decisions. How about a little bit of blue and a little bit of dragon fruit? So I'm going to use dragon fruit and admiral blue. and I'm gonna desaturate to start with. So I'm gonna pick up my color, and I've got my little blending mat over here. And again, you can wipe that down also with just a baby wipe. Now the blending mats are sold by Woodware, and actually the blending mat is a full A4 size that I've cut in half. So I'm gonna tap off my color and desaturate it. And then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna softly add a little bit of color. Now I'm not trying to color in every inch of my stencil. I'm leaving a little bit open because I'm gonna come back with a second color. And I think, and that's gonna be in the Admiral Blue. So a little bit of Admiral Blue. Same thing, I need to desaturate it. I don't want it to be too dark. Now I just come back in and I start laying it down. And I'm just trying to blend the two into each other. Add a little bit here. Again, I'm not trying to overtake my pink because the pink really is dragon fruit. It's really a very bright color. But I have softened it to what I want it to be. And I don't want to use the blue, the Admiral Blue, so heavy that it overtakes. And Admiral Blue kind of is a funny color, depending on how you're using it. When you put it next to reds, it looks blue. You put it next to pinks, sometimes it has a little bit of a purple hue to it. All right, so I can lift this up and I can look and see what I've done. Ooh, pretty. Put it back down, and if I wanted to add just a little bit more pink, I could come in, and again, not trying to overtake anything, but maybe just blend them into each other just a little bit better. So my colors are special. They make beautiful blends. You can watercolor with them, completely water reactive. You can use embossing powder with them. I mean, there's not much you can't do with my inks. Pretty. All right, now let's take it off and let's add stencil number 2. And this time I am gonna go darker, deeper. Let's go in and let's add. Look at how bright that color is. And I'm just adding a little bit here and a little bit there. Look at how bold. But remember, I'm only using 2 ink pads. That's it, 2 ink pads. But so many colors. All right, that's where I'm at. Let's take the blue, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go big and bold and fun and blend, and oh yes, love color. I am a girl who is not afraid of a little color. You should see my closet. Do you ever see that show where they come in, they look in your closet, and then they tell you, oh, you know, like, is that only color you have is black or brown or beige? Not me. I have every color in the rainbow in my closet. I think color is a way to express who you are. and how you're feeling and what you want somebody else to feel. You do something so bold and big, well, then you're looking for a bold and big reaction. But you do something lovely for a wedding, and well, you get that reaction too, that beautiful, serene, elegant colors for wedding. And I think we should be able to play, because I feel different every day. And every day, I want a new opportunity. So just blending, blending, blending. It's going to drive me crazy. There we go. Blending, blending, blending. Can you believe I got mosquito bite on my hand? I didn't even know that was possible. Okay. So are we ready to see the reveal? Because now we've gone big and bold, but we started light and demure. Look at the difference. Look at how pretty it is. Such a contrast. Love it. And I could go back. I could absolutely go back and put number 1 on if I wanted to darken any of my colors, because I haven't moved my paper. As long as I haven't moved my paper, I align up all over again. And if I wanted, I don't know that I do, but I just want to show you, you can if you want. Oh, if you wanted to. Everything is an option. All right, I darkened up a little bit. I just think the colors are beautiful and the opportunity is there. So lovely. And this was just two colors of ink. That's it. Nothing more than 2 colors of ink. So now we've done a tone on tone where it's the same color for both. Here we've blended 2 colors, and yet we've made far more than 2 colors. This one here, same color as this here. This one here, same color here. Let's play again. This time I think we'll take it into 3 colors. You're like, what? 3? Yes. Let's do it. So let's wipe this off. Just a baby wipe is going to clean your stencils. Let's go for it. And what colors do we want to use this time? Maybe we do something maybe a little more masculine, maybe? So what if I kept with my blue and maybe added a little bit of brown? So I'm going to keep with my Admiral Blue. Make sure my Sizzix, yep. Keep with my Admiral Blue. And again, I don't want to cover the whole thing because I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some brown to it. And I just like to go in there and just have at it. always add more. I think that's a good start. So if I lift, you can see the beginnings. Put right back down. And now maybe we add some brown. So dark chocolate is what I've got for you. Again, my Jacquard Premium Dye-Based inks. Blendable, water soluble, embossable. I mean, there's just, they just layer, they don't make mud. How about a little bit of chocolate? And I'm just blending away. And then I can come back with a little bit of blue if I want. Just to kind of cement those blends. Love the color. Let me lift up. Ooh, I love the colors. The blue and the brown look great together. Totally Guy. Love the colors. Now what if I come back in and this time let's change it. How about we play with maybe some of my green? I've got Zesty Lime as one of my greens, and let's play with Zesty Lime just a little bit. Same thing, just gonna come in here and add some color and leave some negative space. Add some color, but leave some negative space for that next color that I'm gonna put on top. Okay, so I've got some green going on. Should I lift it? No, we'll wait. We'll all be surprised together. Now I'm coming back in with my Admiral Blue. And you see my hands are still on my stencil because while my alignment tool will let me align it up perfectly so I don't have to worry, is it matchy? Am I off? Is it when I'm done, am I gonna see a little bit of this? No, I don't have to worry about that at all. But I do still have to keep my fingers on the stencil. Okay, now I think I'm gonna come back with some more green and kind of cement those blends. I just take that green right over the top and kind of cement the blends into each other. And you'll see that the ink isn't making mud. Brightening up that green just a little bit. All right. Are we ready for the reveal to see what we get? We're either gonna love it or we're not. You never know what you're gonna get, but it's only white paper. That's all I'm using is white paper. See, I think that's great for guys. Love the look, love the green, how it brightens it. It just goes, woo, hello. Okay, very happy. Oh, I think I want to blend that just a little bit more. And then look at how easy it is. I think I'm just going to blend this just a little bit more. Look at how easy it was just to put it right back down again. Oh. So there's 3 colors. 1 color, 2 colors, 3 colors. But what if we wanted to do 3 colors and we wanted it more bright? What if we wanted bright and happy and I don't know, maybe, yeah, maybe a little brighter? Should we go a little bit brighter? I feel like I need a yellow. Let's use some yellow. I've got my pineapple crush here. So here, perfect for guys. Hello? Well, perfect for just about anything. What a great tween card. What a great background for a little guy, your nephew, your son, your grandson. You know, I always say that I have 2 boys. So I do. I have 2 boys. There's no getting around that fact. But when they were younger, I would go to the store to go clothes shopping for them. You know, Target, Walmart, whatever, JCPenney, Sears back in the day. And the girl department was huge. The little girl department took up the whole floor. And then you'd get to the little boy department, and it was this big. You had like no choices, no options, nothing. Okay, I want to give you options. Here's your little boy, and here's your little girl, all done with the same stencil. I know, right? So maybe that is what stuck in my head all of these years, is that I always had to, I had no options for my kids' clothing. They got what they got, and they got, because that's all they had. Most of the time it had a fire engine on it, or a little train on it, or maybe a little puppy dog. But the girls had such darling things to choose from. So maybe that's why I design the way I design, is that I want you to be able to use it for everybody. Maybe I have carried that over into my design aesthetic. The fact that my boys were limited as to what I could buy for them. Now, they were boys and they didn't really care. Not really, but maybe that's why the girl department is so much bigger. Maybe little girls absolutely have an idea of what they want to wear. Boys are like, yeah, they don't even care if they match. I mean, they'll put a green, you know, a green shirt on with a purple pair of pants, and they think that we're good, which I guess really does work, but okay, let's go again. And let's keep it maybe a little bit brighter, maybe a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna take stencil number 1. And I'm gonna start with my yellow. I'm gonna use my yellow and my green. I'm gonna put my blue away. And maybe I'll use some of my papaya salad. Let's see. Oh, that's teal. And this is, yeah, oh, Stacey, look at that. Lid's on wrong. Reverse them, start again. Well, I might just keep my teal out now that I've got teal out. That was a surprise. Okay, so I've got my pineapple crush. Same thing, come in here. Kind of leave yourself a little bit of working room. Hands holding on to the stencil. But this time we're going to go a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. And let's see what we get. So I got some yellow going on. Love me some yellow. Let's grab some zesty lime and see. Oh, maybe we should grab teal since I've got it. Teal deal since I have it here. I wasn't going to use it, but it's here now. Let's see. Let's find let's go in and maybe we'll add some teal. Oh, love me the teal. Love the colors. And just anywhere I see white, come on in and add a little bit of color. Oh, see, I popped it off with my hand. Can you see that? I accidentally popped it off with my hand, but not to worry. The alignment tool is I'm gonna pop it right back down and it aligns right back up again. And maybe some more yellow. And kind of blend those into each other. Ooh, so pretty. All right, let's see what we got. And no mud. My inks don't make mud. Bam. That looks great. Okay, so now we're going to put on stencil number 2. And I'm going to keep with my yellow. So I've got a thin line right here on my stencil. Thin line, a thin stencil line. Right here. So when I do it, I want to try and keep it in place. So I just kind of go over it and go down because it is a thin stencil line. Okay, how do we feel about that? Now let's come in with our papaya salad. Just putting my papaya salad right over the top. Anywhere I see some white space, adding a little papaya salad there. And then I'm going to come back with my yellow and cement it all down. Okay, let's bring back the yellow. And just kind of cement that color down. Just blend it in. Just so those transitions are easy peasy. love the colors. All right, are we ready for the reveal? We're either gonna love it or we're not. Ready? Let me go back just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Ah. I think they're so much fun. I do. I love them. Oh, maybe we do. Okay, so maybe we do another one. I don't know. I would do these all day long if you'd let me, but I know that I can't, but I would. I think I'm gonna do, I think I want to do a heat emboss. So maybe I'll stick to just a couple colors. This is stencil number 2. I need to start with stencil number 1. Maybe the blue and pink, or the pink and purple. Pink and purple? Okay, we'll do pink and purple. So I think I'm gonna stick with pink and purple. So I'll put papaya salad away. Oh, or pink and yellow. That would look lovely too. Okay. So a little bit of yellow. So I've got a connection line there that I want to be careful about. Okay, and then let's add some of my Dragon Fruit Delight. And I want to do, I'm going to heat emboss this one. And now I'll come back with my yellow again. I'm just going to blend it all in. So I'm almost changing the color of that pink almost to a corally color by putting the yellow back on top of it. And then if I want to add some of my pink back in, come right back on in and throw some of my pink back on top of it. You really can't make a mistake. Really hard to make mud. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh, look at how bright and how fun that color is. Should we add? What's our second color? I was going to do pink and purple, but now I've done a completely different shade. So let's go back in with our yellow, because yellow's an easy base. Whoop. And maybe I do go in with a little zesty lime. Can you think of all the different color combinations you can do? You could go in here with just embossing powder and use embossing powder to do each layer. Gosh, that would be pretty. Maybe next time. And bring back my yellow. Just kind of blend it all together. And let's see what we got. And then I'm going to emboss it. So typically I would use embossing powder with my inks and go straight to my ink. But because this is a layering stencil, and because I need to keep it on my positioner, on my stencil and stamp tool so that it lines up perfectly every time, I don't want to take my stencil up, pull my paper up, add my embossing powder, tap it off. Let's see what we've got. Oh, that's really close to the other one. So this one had papaya, and this one had dragon fruit. So close. You can see the pink versus the orange, but really close. This one has the green, this one has the teal. Both super, super happy, right? I think I'm gonna emboss this one. So as I was saying, I don't, once you lift your paper, then you have to start the realignment process all over again, and you've got to lay it and make sure that you're straight on, and then put it, you want to keep your paper down until you're done. That's the point of the alignment tool, is that you can pick it up and look at it, but once you've lifted your paper and you've moved it, it changes everything. So while I could use my inks to do embossing because they do stay wet long enough to do that, with a layering stencil, it's not as easy because you're lifting up and taking off and tapping off the embossing powder, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to try to realign anything. So I'm going to take, and that's how I got all that embossing powder here. You know what? I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to do, I know, you're like, you're done, Stacey, finish. I know, but I just want to do one more. That way I have a couple to show the befores and afters. I'll be quick about it, I promise. So my alignment tool, my paper, my stencil, stencil number 1, yes. Super light. This is Dragon Fruit Delight, but I am desaturating it. I'm using just the lightest shade of it. By tapping off and keeping my pressure light, I want to make it a nice light pink. Okay, done. And I'll bring in my eggplant parm because I don't think we've used eggplant parmesan yet. And purple, purple, purple. purple blend, oh, purple blending brush, there we go. Purple, purple, purple. And come in, and again, I'm just gonna keep it light, 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 light. Super soft. Like I'm not even gonna go back in and pick up more ink. And then light with my pink again. Light, light, light. Think about whipped cream and clouds and fluffy. You're just keeping it a very light touch, and I desaturated the color. So now we've got pink and purple. Done. Move on to stencil number 2. And I'm gonna go loud, loud, loud. Bold, bold, bold. Look at, see how that just lines up perfectly? It's a beautiful thing, you guys. It really is. Bold, bold, bold. Bright, bright, bright. Loud, loud, loud. Leaving room to add some of that purple in there. All right, purple. Bold, bold, bold. Bright, bright, bright. Loud, loud, loud. And then I'm going to come back with some of my pink and kind of blend those in together. And just make that blend happen so seamlessly. So beautifully. See, I told you I'd be quick about it. And then I'm going to emboss these. And like I said, because the minute I lift this up and I take my paper off to add my embossing powder, putting it back down and realigning up, it kind of defeats the purpose. But I do have my Versamark here. So I want you to see the difference. What happens when you throw embossing powder over the top. Let me cover up my ink before I get embossing powder absolutely everywhere. I'm going to bring back just my lid. Close that up, and I'm just going to use my lid as my work surface. So, Versamark, it's an embossing medium. It is not a glue. This isn't the same as... These two things are not the same, and they don't do the same thing. This is a glue, a bona fide glue. It's a two-way glue, and we use it with my glitter, and it's amazing. This is an embossing medium, not a glue. We use this with embossing powder. This will not work if you put it down and you throw some glitter or something on top of it or flakes on top of it, because it's an embossing medium. It will not hold. At the same time, you're not going to want to put this down and throw embossing powder over the top of it and heat set it. It's not an embossing medium. They do different things, but are very often confused. Glue, embossing. So if I take and I just go over my entire image, all embossing medium is a pigment type of an ink that has no color to it, because of course pigment inks stay wet long enough for you to add embossing powder down. Okay, let's throw some embossing powder down. So I'm using my Sizzix embossing powder, just a clear embossing powder. I'm just kind of moving it all over. I want to make sure that any place that there's embossing medium, I don't want to see a shine. I want that powder to cover the whole thing up. And now let's put that powder back. And I think I can get it back in there. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. And anything that I didn't use goes right back on in. So there's one. Let's do the other one. And you're like, wait, that looks like you're hiding the color. I know, but let's just emboss. Let's get the ink on the, no, this one, we'll do this one. So same thing, I'm just gonna go over the entire thing with Versamark. Versamark is made by Sukaniko. It should be available at every craft store. And if they don't have Versamark, they're going to have something similar to it. I can see I missed a spot. Versamark lasts a really long time. They sell a refill for it. So if I start at the top, and then I just kind of let my powder kind of walk its way on down, much easier, much faster. Get it all the way down to the bottom, and then I can put it away. Look at how easy and fast that was. Much better. I usually start at the top and then let my embossing powder just walk its way right on down. Tap, tap, tap. Done. Let's grab the heat tool. Yes, you need a heat tool to do heat embossing. This is the Sizzix heat tool. It's dual speed. So if you've not worked with a heat tool before, you may start with a slower speed. But once you get with it, you go. Now, just so you know, this is a powder. If I were to wipe my finger across, the powder would go away. See? It's a powder. If I don't do something with it, no matter what you do, you try to put this onto a card base right now, it's just going to make a mess. You've got to turn that powder into a solid. And how to do that is with a heat tool. Lots of heat tools on the market. I've been using the Sizzix one for, I don't know, probably 10 years, maybe not 10 years, maybe 8 years. Like that it has dual speeds and it works great. Now I'm going to keep my heat tool there until I start to see my powder turn into a solid. Now, just so you can see the difference, in case you've never seen heat embossing before, I've now got a beautiful sheen on this side, and the color's a little bit deeper, a little bit richer, but I don't have that on this side because I haven't turned that powder into a solid. But look at how pretty over here. And all I have to do is keep going. And I'm not doing this. I'm staying in one spot I'm waiting for it to turn, and as I see it turn into a solid, as I see it get shiny, I'm moving right along. Now, trying to see if you can see this. There is a spot right here where it's not shiny. It's dull. There's one right there where I didn't get the embossing powder hot enough for it to turn into a solid. So all I have to do is look for those dull spots, come back, and bam. And done. And you've got that beautiful glare on it, that beautiful kind of shiny, glossy, wet look to it, but it's not wet, and embossing powder dries just the minute it's cool. The minute it's cool to the touch, so is the embossing powder, and it's dry. Let's do this one. Ready? Let's see if I can. Can you see it turning? Look at how deep and rich that color is now that it has got that beautiful gloss finish to it. They're stunning. Stunning. And it just changes everything. Look, it gives it this depth. It really does just give it some beautiful color and some beautiful depth. So with embossing powder, without embossing powder. Not that one is better than the other, but for you to see the difference. With embossing powder, without embossing powder, you can see how it brightens everything up. And it's up to you. A little bit of embossing powder, bam, or keep it in a matte finish. I think they're beautiful. And who knew you could do that? When you look at this stencil, I'm not sure you see this. And I'm not sure you see this. And I'm not sure you see this. And this. Or that. What do you think? The options are absolutely limitless. It was designed to be that way, so that if you are taking your crafty your crafty dollars, and we all only have so many crafty dollars to go around. Look at that background. Look at how sweet that is. We all only have so many crafty dollars to go around, but if you're able to make it so many different things for all the people in your life. Well, I think that's a win-win. From the very, very simple to the holy smokes artichokes. And it was all done with one 2-layer stencil from Sizzix. It's my Cosmopolitan down the line number 2 because number 1 is the embossing folder. So when you're out there and you see it, remember, it is everything that you need a stencil to be. Plus more because it has the embossing folder. So I know we ran a little long today, but I wanted to really bring out that embossing powder so you could see it and see how it can absolutely elevate your make. I love it. It makes my heart happy. The stencil isn't available yet. Scrapbook.com, they have it on a notify me. You can click the notify me list, and being that it's a 2-layer stencil, it is affordable. It is in most people's crafty budget, and I believe they even have it, I believe it'll be on sale when it goes live. So the SKU number again is 666748. And next week we're going to be playing with the 3D embossing folder that coordinates. Yum! So I am Stacey, and I'm a licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creations. And this is Take 2 Tuesday, where it's a craft class, a free craft class. Come join me and be part of the live chat and learn more about these amazing manufacturers who bring this crafty goodness into our lives and into our hearts and lets us share it with those we love through the makes that we make. Until next week, I will see you. Have a great rest of your week. And thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody.